Hi guys, welcome to Psych.Slick. Today we're going to be talking about wives being submissive to their husbands and how that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that today's culture, we're taught that we need to be boss women and we need to be as badass as men are, and I think we need to think about that a little bit. Is a man going to be attracted to me if he's not needed? Am I going to be attracted to him if he can't provide for me in ways that I can't provide for myself, with maybe safety? Or like, I don't necessarily want to maybe be with a man that's not going to be able to keep me safe or provide for me, or want to take the lead and take the charge in situations. And I think that I've really evolved and changed in this area. I used to be, and my husband and I have been together for 11 years. So we haven't been married for 11 years, but we've been together for 11 years. And it's just wild to think how much I've evolved. I used to be very much it's hard to even say it, but like the alpha. Like, I just, wanted to kind of be in control. I wanted to plan everything. And I just think that in the end, I was always feeling frustrated because I wanted him to take that initiative. But if I'm always doing it, I'm not leaving room for him to take that initiative. And so I think when I've consciously taken a step back from trying to be this boss bitch and being able to be more submissive, and doing this purposely. Like, I am really practicing not taking charge. I really want to look to my husband to lead my family. I don't want to be the one making huge decisions on my own or doing things all by myself. If that were the case, then I wouldn't need him. I would be single. And I think that's why a lot of the trend right now is women being moms on their own. I mean, a lot of women are getting artificially inseminated by sperm donors and they're raising babies without fathers. And I think that they think, well, why do I need a man? I can do everything that a man can do for me. And maybe you can, but just because you can, should you? And I think a lot of the times we need to ask ourselves that question, like, yeah, women can go to work and do all of the things that men can do. And I think it's great that a lot of women do that. But I don't think we have to make other women feel bad for that being their goal, to look to their husband to provide and take care of them, and the husband looks to them for more domestic roles like cooking and cleaning and taking care of the children and organizing and planning things and socializing their family with other families. I mean, there's a lot of things that women do that men don't do. And why can't we celebrate that as women? Why can't that be the feminist movement? I think it's weird that being feminist means that we have to be more masculine. And I think that's very emasculating to men. And I don't want to date or marry a man that is feminine. I just don't. And I think a lot of women are in the same boat. And again, I think that's why things are trending that way. I think that a lot of men don't want masculine females. They don't want to feel less than their partner. And I don't think that this happens with everybody. I mean, in my family, my mother was the breadwinner, but I don't think that made my dad feel less than. But I do think that Sometimes it can. And I think that sometimes it might even be unspoken. I think that we just need to start thinking more about what is really being a feminist. And is it really being more masculine, or is it celebrating who we are as females and that we're naturally more nurturing? But I'm naturally better at multitasking. I'm better at able to get cooking done and cleaning done and all these things done. And he's more like focused and driven on getting, one other thing done. And I've like been doing a million other different things, but his thing might be like, you know, put, patching up a hole in the wall and like putting up plaster or something like that. That's a pretty big job. I'm not really going to do that on my own. We need to really look to our men to guide us and be there to support us, protect us. And I don't want to be confused with being submissive and not having a voice or being equal with your partner. I mean that I want my husband to be the head of our household, uh, but we are equal. So we discuss things, but I want and I share how I feel about something. But at the end of the day, like I'm going to look to him to make the ultimate say so. And I think that that just is a sign of respect for me. And I think that because I respect him and I allow him to be in a very dominant position, that he doesn't take that lightly, and he then wants to protect me and listens to me and respects my voice, and then he takes that into consideration when he makes the ultimate decision. And I think that that has just been a really great transition in our relationship. I think that we both have just had so much respect for one another. Not that we didn't have it before, but I think that he likes it. I think I like it. And I tempt you guys to give it a try. I mean, you guys can always go back to your old ways, but does it hurt to really try being a more traditional household? Does it hurt to have a head of your hierarchy in the family? No, it doesn't. I think that that's actually how families are meant to be. And I actually have this painting that I made for my husband on Valentine's Day. Ephesians 5:22 through 24. Just to share with you guys what that means. It says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything." And I'm a Christian. I like to have the Bible help guide me in my values and how I should live my life. And so one of the church sermons was going over like roles within families and feminine and masculine roles, and I just felt like this really hit me hard, that I want to submit to my husband just as I submit to the Lord, and as Christ is the head of the church. He's the head of my house. And I want to show him that respect. And I think that's also respecting God. But also, it's not just about the female. There's a part in here, Ephesians 5:25 through 33, where it says, instructs husbands to love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, essentially calling on husbands to love their wives selflessly and sacrificially, mirroring the love Christ has for the church. This is the primary message Ephesians delivers to husbands. So it's not just about wives submitting to their husbands. I think that can sometimes feel like we are putting women down, and and maybe feeling like they're less than. But being submissive doesn't mean that you're less than. You know, it's all God's also calling for husbands to love their wives just as Christ loves the church and gave himself up for her. And essentially he's calling for husbands to love them selflessly and marrying that love. And I think that that's a beautiful example and role model that we want men to follow. And when they do that and are able to selflessly love their wives, then they are respecting their wives and they can have an equal partnership while still being the head of the household. So I don't want us to think that being submissive is like this, terrible term. It can actually be a really beautiful thing in a family. I definitely was sold the feminist lie. I think that I had to be the best. I had to, have the same salary as a man. And I think that it has helped me learn to be assertive, especially in the workforce, and how to communicate and problem solve and get things done. But I also think that I've been sold a lie. I think that I like so much more not having to take on that masculine role anymore. I like having to dote on my husband. I like having to cook. I like having to clean. I like having to organize. And I like having to plan events with my husband. I mean, that's what a wife is for. I think that it helps provide the relief and the balance to such a hard work life that I think men are just bred to withstand and endure. And it's okay to acknowledge that. I think that we have been brainwashed into thinking that men and women are equal, and we can be equal, but we are different. And there's a difference in that. Even women that work can and that can financially support themselves can practice this. They can still look to their husbands as being the head of the household. And I think that's why that does work in my parents' relationship, because even though my mom was the breadwinner and did make more financially than my dad, she never looked down on him or made him feel less than. She would always look to him, be like, go ask your father, you need to go ask your father. And I think that always helped him feel like he was the head of the household, and that is a way to be submissive in a respectful way. So I think that even if you are a working mom or a working wife, that you can still practice this with your husband. The key here, though, is mutual respect. If you guys don't have mutual respect for each other, you're going to take advantage of it. You're not going to take into consideration each other's feelings and want to act in each other's best interests. I expect my husband to put me before himself, and I hope that he expects me to put him before myself, because that's what's going to make our relationship stronger. No one's going to be doing that for you. If he knows that you respect him enough to make the final say, and then he's going to respect you and what you have to say when he makes that final say. And when you aren't the one taking the lead all the time, like this was my problem, is that I'm very type A. So when I'm the one taking the lead and the initiative and doing everything, then there's no room for him to do that. And it's this complementary relationship where I'm looking for him to do these things, but how can he do them if I'm the one taking the lead and doing it? I have to be willing to pull back to allow him to pull forward and to take the lead. And this year has been the year of change, and we have been practicing that. And we both love it. I think he loves it. I love it. I find it so attractive. And I think he just feels so much more manly and the head of the household, like he should. He's a man and he should feel that way. Now that I'm not working and earning an income, I respect him for going to work all day and how much it takes to earn $1. Like, for him to do that for me, like, that's a big sacrifice. And so I, during the day, want to sacrifice for him to make his life better and to make his life more comfortable. And I think that there goes again the mutual respect that we're doing this together for each other. But if you have this pettiness or competitiveness or grudge against one another, it's not going to work, because you're not going to trust that person to protect you and think about you and put you first. And that's what it's about. I think if you're both willing to put each other first, then you're going to be more likely to have a healthier relationship. I made this post on X today, which I was just thinking about, and that's why I wanted to make this video today. And I was like, stop being afraid of commitment. Men, find a great woman to love and cherish. It's worth the time finding a woman with strong values. The investment is worth the return. Women, find a man that respects and values you. You're not just anyone. You're someone's love of their life. Don't give yourself to someone that doesn't see you as that. Stop looking for the wrong things in a partner. Choosing people for looks and money will not bring happiness. Look at someone for their heart and faith in Jesus. That will guide their values in life and be a strong foundation to build a life together on. And I truly believe that. I think that if people are more focused on the right things in a relationship, then you can build a good, healthy foundation, and God will bless that union. But if you're looking to just have money or to have like a good-looking partner, sometimes those things fade. They're not always going to be there forever. You want to be able to have a real, genuine connection with someone. That's someone that you've love, that you've been able to grow with in life together, and that's worth way more than any hookup or one night stand that you could ever have. So I really recommend making a commitment, finding the right person, using dating for what it's for, and that's to find someone to get married to, not just to fool around and have a one night stand and get off, because those are always going to leave you feeling empty. So if you are interested, please give me a follow, give me a like if you found this interesting, and I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think. I am really just interested in trying to change the trend of what feminism is, and I don't think it is what it currently I don't think what feminism currently stands for is what it should stand for. And I think it should stand for being female, point blank, full stop, being able to be domestic, to be able to be nurturing, to be able to feel feminine and flirty and beautiful and wanting to take good care of yourself. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those things, and you don't need to be a boss bitch and manly and masculine and do all the things a man does. Sorry, that's just not going to attract a man or a good man. So let me know what you think. It's really great to see you guys again. I know I've been away for the holidays, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye!